Ambassador Ben Harris walked through the crowded halls of the Galactic Council station. Aliens of every shape and size moved around him. Some had scales. Others had fur or feathers. A few floated in special gravity bubbles. Ben had worked here for 3 years, and he still felt like a stranger. Humanity had joined the Galactic Council 50 years ago. It was supposed to be a great moment in history. Earth finally had a place among the stars. But that place was small. The Council told humans they were too primitive to expand beyond a tiny zone of space. They said human technology was centuries behind everyone else. Earth had to wait, learn, and grow before they could be equals. Ben believed this for a long time. Most humans did. He stopped near a viewing window and looked out at the stars. The Council capital station was massive, home to millions of beings from hundreds of worlds. Earth's entire population could fit inside it twice over. How could humans ever compete with civilizations this advanced? A gentle touch on his arm made him turn. Ambassador Kira Sol stood beside him. She was tall and thin, with pale blue skin and large dark eyes. Her species, the Valkyrie, were known for being quiet and peaceful. Ben had spoken with her a few times at diplomatic functions. She always seemed nervous around him. "Ambassador Harris," she said softly, "I must speak quickly. We are being watched." Ben frowned. "What do you mean?" Kirasol pressed something into his hand. It was small and cold, a data chip no bigger than his thumbnail. "Take this to your scientists. Tell no one on this station. Trust no one from the Council." Her voice shook with fear. "I am sorry for what my people have done, for what they plan to do." Before Ben could ask any questions, she walked away and disappeared into the crowd. He looked down at the chip in his palm. His heart beat faster. Something about her words felt true. Something he had always suspected but never wanted to believe. He closed his fingers around the chip and walked calmly toward his ship. 3 days later, Ben stood in a secure room deep beneath Earth's surface. The Defense Command facility was built to survive anything. Its walls were thick enough to stop nuclear bombs. Its computers were cut off from every outside network. If secrets existed anywhere, they were safe here. Dr. Claire Walsh worked at the main console. She was a small woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She had spent 20 years studying alien technology, always frustrated by how little the Council shared with humanity. Now her hands moved quickly across the controls as she broke through the encryption on Kirasol's chip. "This is military-grade security," Claire said. "Whoever made this did not want it found." Admiral Jack Lawson stood behind her, arms crossed over his chest. He was a tall man with a hard face and white hair cut short. He had commanded Earth's defense fleet for 15 years. In all that time, he had never trusted the Council. They smiled too much and explained too little. "Can you open it?" Jack asked. "Already done." Claire's voice was flat. She stared at the screen, and her face went pale. "Admiral, you need to see this." Jack stepped forward. Ben moved closer too. The screen filled with documents, videos, and star charts. Claire opened the first file, and a hologram appeared showing the Galactic Council's inner chamber. High Councilor Vethran stood at the center, his scaled body gleaming under bright lights. The recording played. Vethran spoke to the other council leaders. "The humans believe they are inferior. We have kept them isolated and ignorant for 50 years. Their technology matched ours 30 years ago, but they do not know this. They trust us completely." Another council member spoke. "And the resource extraction? Earth will be harvested in 10 years, Vethran answered. "The humans will be relocated to labor colonies. They are strong workers. They will serve the Council well." The recording ended. Silence filled the room. Ben felt sick. Everything humanity believed was a lie. The Council never wanted to help Earth. They wanted to use it, to drain it dry and enslave its people. Claire opened more files. They showed secret fleet movements, ships gathering in a distant system called Korvath. Hundreds of warships, all pointed toward Earth. An invasion force hidden in the dark between stars. They planned this from the beginning, Claire whispered. They suppressed our development on purpose. They wanted us weak and grateful. Jack's jaw tightened. They made a mistake. What do you mean? Ben asked. Jack turned to face him. 5 years ago, one of our deep space probes found a crashed council ship. We recovered its database and learned the truth then. We have spent every day since preparing for this moment. Ben stared at him. You knew? For 5 years? We suspected. Now we have proof. Jack walked to a wall panel and pressed his hand against it. A hidden door slid open, revealing another room filled with screens and military officers. The Council thinks we are primitive. They think we have nothing but the outdated ships they allowed us to build. They are wrong. Secretary Karen Price entered the room. She was the head of Earth's Defense Department, a woman known for making hard choices. She looked at the evidence on the screens and nodded slowly. Operation Blackout, she said. It is time. Jack smiled, but there was no warmth in it. We have 12 ships the Council has never seen, built in hidden bases inside asteroids, armed with weapons we developed in secret. The Council inspectors looked right at our facilities and saw nothing because they believed their own lies about human stupidity. Claire brought up another display. We also cracked their faster-than-light communication network. We can jam it, cut off entire star systems from each other. They will not be able to coordinate a response. Ben shook his head in amazement. You have been planning a war. We have been planning to survive, Karen corrected. There is a difference. The Council gave us no choice. They decided long ago that humanity would be slaves. We simply decided to disagree. Jack issued orders to his officers. Within minutes, Earth's communication links to the rest of the galaxy began shutting down. Satellites went dark. Hyperspace beacons fell silent. To the watching galaxy, it looked like Earth had simply vanished. On the Council station, confusion spread. Representatives from dozen species demanded to know what happened to the humans. Vethran assured them it was probably a technical failure. Nothing to worry about. Earth was harmless. Deep beneath the ground, Jack Lawson watched his fleet prepare for launch. Ships that officially did not exist powered up their engines. Crews who had trained in secret for years took their positions. A plan 5 years in the making finally began to move. They lied to us, Jack said quietly. Now they will learn the cost of that lie. The stars waited in silence. Earth had disappeared from the galactic network. And in the darkness, humanity prepared to strike back. Captain Lisa Monroe stood on the bridge of the USS Veller and watched the stars through the main window. Her ship floated in the shadow of a massive asteroid, hidden from any sensors that might be searching for them. Around her, 11 other ships waited in the darkness. The Phantom Squadron had been a secret for 5 years. Today, that secret would end. Lisa was 38 years old. She had joined the military because she believed in protecting people. When Admiral Lawson recruited her for this mission 3 years ago, she thought he was crazy. A hidden fleet? Secret weapons? A war against the entire galaxy? It sounded impossible, but she had seen the evidence. She knew what the Council planned for Earth, and she knew that impossible was just a word people used. When they were afraid to try, her communication panel lit up. A secure channel from Earth. She pressed the button and Admiral Jack Lawson's face appeared on the screen. Captain Monroe, Jack said. Operation Blackout is active. Earth has gone dark. The Council has no idea what we are doing. Who? My squadron is ready, Admiral. Just give the word. Jack nodded. Commander Reeves will brief all captains in 1 hour. After that, you jump to the Corvath system. The Council's invasion fleet is there. They think it is hidden. They are wrong. Lisa felt her heart beat faster. This was really happening. Understood, sir. We will not let you down. I know you will not. Jack paused. Lisa, what you do today will change history. Humanity is counting on you. Make it count. The screen went dark. Lisa turned to her crew. They were young, most of them. Handpicked for skill and loyalty. They had trained for this moment without knowing exactly when it would come. Now it was here. All stations, Lisa announced. Prepare for combat briefing in 1 hour. This is not a drill. In another part of Earth's hidden network, Dr. Claire Walsh ran final checks on Project Thunderbolt. The system filled an entire underground complex. Massive towers of equipment hummed with power. Cables thick as tree trunks connected everything together. It looked like something from a dream, but it was very real. Project Thunderbolt could jam faster than light communications across multiple star systems at once. The Council used FTL signals to coordinate their fleets, their governments, their entire civilization. Without those signals, they would be blind and deaf. Each world would be cut off from the others. Panic would spread faster than any ship could travel. Claire had spent 15 years building this system. The Council thought humans could not understand FTL communication. They were wrong about that too. Her assistant, a young man named Danny Park, approached with a tablet. All nodes are online, Dr. Walsh. We can activate on your command. Claire looked at the data. Everything was green. Everything was ready. Hold for Admiral Lawson's signal. When he gives the word, we change the galaxy forever. Danny nodded, his face serious. Do you think this will work? Really work? Claire smiled slightly. The Council has not fought a real war in 400 years. They forgot what it means to face an enemy who wants to survive. We are about to remind them. On the Council Capital Station, Ambassador Ben Harris sat in his small office and pretended to work. Outside his door, the halls buzzed with confusion. Earth had gone silent. No one knew why. Council security teams searched for answers but found nothing. Ben kept his face calm even though his heart raced. He had a role to play. Stay in place. Gather information. Send it back to Earth through the quantum channel hidden in his personal computer. He was a spy now, surrounded by enemies who still thought he was a friend. A knock came at his door. Ben took a breath and opened it. High Counselor Vethran stood there, his golden scales catching the light. 2 guards flanked him, tall and armed. Ambassador Harris, Vethran said smoothly. I hope I am not disturbing you. Not at all, High Counselor. Please come in. Vethran entered and looked around the small office. His eyes were cold despite his polite smile. We are concerned about Earth. Your planet has stopped responding to all communications. Do you know anything about this? Ben shook his head. I am as confused as you are. I have tried to contact my government, but nothing goes through. Perhaps there is a technical problem with our relay stations. Perhaps. Vethran studied him carefully. You would tell us if you knew something, would you not? We are allies, after all. Friends? The word friends made Ben's stomach turn. This creature planned to enslave his entire species. But Ben kept his expression friendly and open. Of course, High Counselor. Earth values its relationship with the Council above all else. If I learn anything, you will be the first to know. Vethran stared at him for a long moment. Then he nodded and turned to leave. I hope that is true, Ambassador. For everyone's sake. The door closed behind him. Ben let out a slow breath. He was playing a dangerous game. One mistake, and he would never see Earth again. Back in space, Commander Sam Reeves appeared on every ship's main screen. He was Admiral Lawson's second-in-command, a man who had studied alien warfare for 20 years. His briefing was short and direct. The Council fleet in the Corvath system contains 312 ships. They are arranged in a standard defensive formation, the same formation their species has used for 600 years. They believe it is perfect because no one has ever beaten it. Sam smiled. They have never fought humans. He explained the attack plan. The Phantom Squadron would jump directly into the center of the enemy formation. Council sensors could not detect ships emerging from hyperspace at close range. By the time they realized what was happening, the battle would already be half over. Move fast. Hit hard. Do not let them regroup. Their commanders are trained to follow rules. We are trained to break them. Lisa Monroe listened carefully. The plan was bold and risky. It required perfect timing and absolute courage. It was exactly the kind of plan humans were good at. When the briefing ended, she stood before her crew. They looked at her with trust and determination. These were her people, her family. We were told we were weak, Lisa said. We were told we did not belong among the stars. The Council lied. Today, we show them the truth. Today, we fight for everyone who ever looked up at the sky and dreamed of something greater. Her crew cheered. The sound echoed through the ship. Lisa turned to face the stars. All ships, she announced over the squadron channel, jump to the Corvath system. Let us introduce ourselves to the Council. 12 ships vanished into hyperspace. The first strike was about to begin. The USS Valor dropped out of hyperspace in the middle of the Council fleet. One moment there was empty space. The next moment, Lisa Monroe's ship was surrounded by enemy vessels. Alarms screamed on every Council bridge. But by the time they understood what was happening, it was already too late. Fire all weapons, Lisa commanded. The Valor unleashed everything it had. Missiles streaked through the void. Energy beams cut through metal like knives through paper. The nearest Council ship exploded in a ball of fire before its crew could even reach their stations. Around the Valor, 11 other human ships appeared. They emerged at different points throughout the enemy formation. Each one began firing immediately. The Council fleet, arranged in their perfect ancient pattern, suddenly found enemies everywhere and nowhere. On the Council flagship, War Chief Torvax roared orders at his officers. He was a massive creature with gray skin and 4 arms. He had commanded fleets for 60 years. He had never seen anything like this. How did they get inside our formation? He demanded. Our sensors should have detected them. They jumped directly into close range, an officer stammered. Our systems are not designed to track that. No one has ever done it before. The humans did it. Torvax watched his ships die on the tactical display. 3 more gone. Then 5. Then 8. All ships, break formation. Engage at will. But his orders came too late. The Council fleet was designed to fight as a single unit. Their ships were meant to hold position and fire in coordinated waves. When the formation broke, they became confused. Ships crashed into each other trying to maneuver. Weapons fire hit friendly vessels by accident. Chaos spread like a disease. Lisa pushed the Valor forward. Her ship twisted and spun through the enemy fleet, never staying in one place long enough to be targeted. Human pilots trained differently than Council crews. They learned to think on their feet, to improvise, to treat every battle as a new puzzle to solve. Target their command ships, Lisa ordered. Cut off the head and the body dies. The Phantom Squadron focused its attack. One by one, the Council's command vessels fell. Each time a command ship died, dozens of smaller ships lost their direction. They stopped fighting and started running. But there was nowhere to run. Far away on Earth, Dr. Claire Walsh watched the countdown on her screen. Admiral Lawson's voice came through her communication system. "Now, Dr. Walsh, light them up." Claire pressed the activation button. Project Thunderbolt came alive. Across council space, faster-than-light communications suddenly stopped. Signals vanished. Networks crashed. Planets that had been connected for thousands of years found themselves completely alone. Leaders tried to contact their fleets. Fleets tried to contact their bases. Nothing worked. Silence swallowed everything. On the council capital station, panic erupted. Screens went dark. Holographic displays flickered and died. Representatives from dozens of species shouted questions that no one could answer. High Council of Veterans stood in the great chamber and tried to restore order. "Remain calm. This is temporary. Our engineers will fix the problem." But the engineers had no answers. They had never seen anything like this. The humans had broken something fundamental about how the galaxy worked. Ambassador Ben Harris watched from the edge of the room. He kept his face worried and confused like everyone else. But inside he felt something close to joy. Earth was fighting back. Earth was winning. He slipped away from the crowd and returned to his office. His quantum communicator was still working. It used a different system than council technology, something humans had developed in secret. He sent a quick message to Earth. "Council and chaos. Continue attack. Victory is possible." In the Korvath system, the battle was almost over. The council fleet that took 20 years to build had been destroyed in less than an hour. Burning wreckage drifted through space. Escape pods floated among the debris. Lisa ordered her ships to let them go. This was not about killing. It was about sending a message. War Chief Torvax sat on the bridge of his damaged flagship. Most of his crew was dead. His ship was barely functioning. He had lost everything. A human ship approached slowly. A communication request appeared on his cracked screen. Torvax accepted it. Captain Lisa Monroe's face appeared. She looked calm and serious. "War Chief Torvax, your fleet is destroyed. Your invasion will not happen. Surrender your vessel." Torvax stared at her. He had underestimated humans his entire life. Everyone in the council had. They saw small pink creatures with soft skin and short lives. They never saw the fire inside. "I surrender," Torvax said quietly. "You have won this battle, human. But the council will respond. More fleets will come." Lisa shook her head. "Look at your communication systems, War Chief. Try to contact anyone. The council cannot respond because the council cannot speak. Earth has taken your voice away. By the time you get it back, this war will be over." Torvax checked his systems. She was right. Every channel was dead. Every frequency was silent. The humans had not just beaten his fleet. They had crippled the entire council network. "What are you?" Torvax whispered. "We are what you created," Lisa answered. "You treated us like children for 50 years. You lied to us. You planned to enslave us. Now you see what happens when those children grow up angry." She cut the communication. The Valor turned away from the broken flagship and rejoined the squadron. At the same time, Admiral Jack Lawson led Earth's main fleet to 3 critical hyperspace junction points. These were the places where the major travel routes crossed. Control them, and you controlled movement through this entire region of space. The Council defenses at these points were weak. They never expected an attack from the species they considered harmless. Jack's fleet took all 3 junctions in a matter of hours. Now nothing could reach Earth without passing through human-controlled space first. When the junctions were secure, Jack recorded a message. His engineers found a way to push it through the jammed communications. It would reach every screen in Council space. The message was simple. Jack's face appeared on billions of displays. His voice echoed in thousands of languages through automatic translation. This is Admiral Jack Lawson of Earth. For 50 years, the Galactic Council told us we were inferior. They told us we needed to wait and learn. They lied. He held up a data chip. This contains proof that the Council planned to invade Earth, to steal our resources, to enslave our people. We have shared this proof with every species in the galaxy. Check your local networks. The truth is there for everyone to see. Jack's eyes hardened. We did not start this war. The Council did, the moment they decided humans were not worth treating as equals. But we will finish it. Earth will not be conquered. Earth will not be enslaved. And anyone who tries will face the same fate as the fleet at Korvath. The message ended. Silence fell across the galaxy. Then, slowly, the reactions began. On the capital station, High Councilor Vethran watched his own words play back on the restored screens. His secret meetings. His plans for Earth. His lies exposed for everyone to see. His allies began stepping away from him. His supporters suddenly could not meet his eyes. In the span of a single day, Vethran had gone from the most powerful being in the galaxy to the most hated. The humans had not just won a battle. They had won something far more important. They had won the truth. 6 months had passed since Earth struck back. The galaxy looked different now. The old Galactic Council was gone, replaced by something new. Something better. Admiral Jack Lawson stood in the great chamber that once belonged to Vethran and watched history being made. Representatives from over 200 species filled the room. They sat in equal seats arranged in a circle. No one was in the back. No one was given less importance. This was the Reformed Galactic Assembly, and it had been designed with one simple rule. Every voice mattered. The inauguration ceremony was simple but powerful. Leaders from across the galaxy spoke about hope and change. They talked about the mistakes of the past and the possibilities of the future. When it was Jack's turn to speak, he kept his words short. Earth did not fight for power, he said. We fought for truth. We fought for the right to be treated as equals. Now we have that right. Let us use it wisely. The chamber filled with applause. Jack nodded and returned to his seat. He had never wanted to be a politician. He was a soldier. But sometimes soldiers had to do more than fight. In the front row, Ambassador Kirasol received her new title. She had risked everything to warn humanity. Without her courage, Earth might have been caught unprepared. Now she was the Assembly's first Secretary of Transparency. Her job was to make sure no species could ever deceive another the way the old Council had deceived Earth. Ben Harris placed a ceremonial badge on her chest. You saved us, he said quietly. We will never forget that. Kirasol's blue skin flushed darker with emotion. I did what was right. Nothing more. That is exactly why you are perfect for this job. Ben smiled. The galaxy needs more people who do what is right, even when it is dangerous. The ceremony continued. New positions were filled. New rules were announced. The Assembly would operate differently than the old Council. Decisions would be made openly. Secrets would be illegal. Trust would be rebuilt one honest action at a time. After the ceremony, Captain Lisa Monroe walked through the gardens of the capital station. The Phantom Squadron had been given a new mission: exploration. The galaxy was opening up to human ships. Whole regions of space that had been forbidden were now waiting to be discovered. Lisa could not wait to see what was out there. Commander Sam Reeves found her standing near a fountain that sprayed water and patents that defied gravity. Alien plants surrounded them, filling the air with strange, sweet scents. "You look happy," Sam said. Lisa nodded. "For the first time in years, I am not preparing for war. It feels strange. Good strange or bad strange?" She thought about it. Good strange. We spent so long getting ready to fight. I forgot what it felt like to dream about something else. Sam stood beside her and watched the fountain. "Do you think it will last? The peace? I do not know. But I know we have to try. If we only prepare for war, war is all we will ever have." Lisa turned to face him. "The assembly is not perfect. Neither is Earth, but we are better than we were. That has to count for something." Sam nodded slowly. "I visited the memorial today. The one they built for everyone who died in the strike. Human and alien both. I want to see it." They walked together through the station. The memorial stood in a quiet plaza near the assembly chamber. It was a wall of black stone covered with names. Thousands of names. The humans who died fighting. The aliens who died because their leaders lied. All remembered together. Sam stopped in front of a section of human names. He found the ones he was looking for. Friends he had lost. Good people who never came home. "We won," Sam said quietly. "But this is what winning cost." Lisa put her hand on his shoulder. "They died so that others could live free. That matters. It has to matter. It does." Sam touched one of the names gently. "I just want to make sure we are worthy of what they gave." They stood in silence for a long time. The weight of the past pressed down on them. But so did the hope of the future. On Earth, Dr. Claire Walsh led a press conference about the new Joint Research Initiative. Scientists from 12 species would work together at facilities across the galaxy. They would share the technologies that the old council had suppressed. Medical breakthroughs that could cure diseases. Energy systems that could end poverty. Transportation methods that could connect distant worlds in hours instead of days. "This knowledge belongs to everyone," Claire announced. "The council hoarded it for power. We will share it for progress. That is what separates us from them." Reporters asked questions. Cameras flashed. Claire answered everything with patience and clarity. She was not a politician either, but she understood that science was political whether she liked it or not. The best way to fight lies was with truth. Secretary Karen Price watched the broadcast from her office. She had aged in the past 6 months. The weight of responsibility had left its mark. But she was proud of what they had accomplished. Her assistant entered with a report. "Ma'am, we have received intelligence from War Chief Torvax." Karen looked up. "What does it say?" "Vethran has been spotted in the outer territories. He is gathering followers among the species who lost power when the old council fell. They call themselves the True Heirs." Karen closed her eyes. Of course, it would never be that simple. Peace had to be defended constantly. There would always be those who preferred the old ways. "Pass this information to Admiral Lawson. Keep monitoring the situation. We will deal with it if and when it becomes necessary." The assistant nodded and left. Karen returned to the window and looked up at the stars. The galaxy was beautiful. It was also dangerous. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, but holding that place would require constant vigilance. On his flagship, Admiral Jack Lawson read the same intelligence report. Vethran was out there somewhere, building a new threat. The old enemy was not gone. He was just waiting. Jack called his senior officers together. "We have work to do. The True Heirs are not a crisis yet, but they could become one. I want patrols increased along the outer borders. I want intelligence gathered on every system where Vethran might find support. And I want our ships ready to move at a moment's notice." His officers nodded and went to carry out his orders. Jack remained on the bridge, alone. He looked out at the endless darkness dotted with points of light. Humanity had come so far. From a small blue planet to a force that could shake the galaxy. They had proven they could fight. They had proven they could forgive. Now they had to prove they could endure. The stars waited silently. They had seen empires rise and fall for billions of years. They would see many more. But Jack Lawson made a quiet promise to them and to himself. Earth would not fall. Not today. Not ever. The humans had been awakened, and the galaxy would never forget it. The Galactic Council chamber had never been so loud. Representatives from hundreds of species shouted at each other. Some demanded answers. Others demanded punishment. A few tried to defend the old leadership, but their voices were drowned out by the angry crowd. High Counselor Vethran stood at the center of it all. His golden scales had lost their shine. His confident posture had crumbled. The evidence against him played on every screen in the chamber. His own words. His own plans. There was no way to deny it. Order. I demand order. Vethran shouted. But no one listened anymore. Ambassador Ben Harris watched from the human delegation's platform. For 50 years, Earth's representatives had sat in the back of this chamber. They were given the smallest seats and the least important votes. Now every eye in the room kept turning toward him. The species that everyone ignored had just shaken the galaxy. A tall being with silver fur stepped forward. Ambassador Kethral of the Morvani Federation raised his hand for silence. The Morvani were one of the oldest species in the council. When Kethral spoke, others listened. We have all seen the evidence, Kethral said. High Counselor Vethran and his supporters planned to conquer Earth. They lied to this council. They lied to the galaxy. This cannot stand. Vethran stepped toward him. You do not understand. The humans are dangerous. Look at what they did. They destroyed an entire fleet. They crippled our communications. They are a threat to everyone. They defended themselves, Kethral replied calmly. Against an attack that you planned. Against slavery that you designed. The humans did only what any species would do when faced with extinction. More voices joined in. Species that had supported the council for centuries now turned against it. The evidence was too clear. The lies were too big. Vethran had not just betrayed Earth. He had betrayed the trust of everyone. Ben Harris stood and walked toward the central platform. The crowd grew quiet as he approached. A human had never addressed the full council before. They were always told their voice did not matter. 50 years ago, Ben began, Earth joined this council with hope. We thought we had found friends among the stars. We thought we had found a place where we belonged. He paused and looked at Vethran. We were wrong. Ben held up the data chip that Kirasol had given him. This contains the truth. A truth that some of you knew. A truth that many of you suspected. The council never wanted humanity to grow. They wanted to use us. To drain our world and break our spirits. They saw us as resources, not people. Not people. He turned to face the full chamber. But we are people. We dream. We hope. We love our children and mourn our dead. We are no different from any of you. And we will not be treated as less. The chamber was silent. Ben continued. Earth does not want war. We never did. But we will not accept slavery. We will not accept lies. High Counselor Vethran must face justice. The council must change. And humanity must be treated as equals, not as servants waiting to be used. Ambassador Kethral nodded slowly. The human speaks truth. We have all been fooled. The question now is what we do about it. The debate continued for hours. But the outcome was clear from the beginning. Vethran's supporters abandoned him one by one. By the end of the day, the council voted to remove him power. Guards moved to arrest him. Veteran pulled away from them. "You will regret this. The humans are not what they seem. They will turn on you next. Mark my words." No one listened. The guards led him away. As he passed Ben Harris, Veteran stopped and stared at him with pure hatred. "This is not over, human." "Yes, it is," Ben replied quietly. "You just do not know it yet." 2 days later, Captain Lisa Monroe received new orders. The Phantom Squadron was to provide security for a humanitarian mission. A council world called Derex Prime had been hit hard by the communication blackout. Their corrupt governor had tried to flee with emergency food supplies, leaving millions to starve. Earth was sending help. Lisa did not understand at first. "We just fought a war against these people. Now we are feeding them?" Admiral Lawson's response came through the secure channel. "We fought against the council leadership, not against innocent people. The citizens of Derex Prime did nothing wrong. They are victims of the same lies we were. Help them." The squadron jumped to Derex Prime. When they arrived, they found chaos. The governor had indeed fled, taking most of the planet's emergency reserves. Riots had broken out in major cities. People were scared and hungry and desperate. Lisa ordered her ships to land near the capital. Her crews unloaded food, medicine, and water purification equipment. They set up distribution centers and medical stations. They worked side by side with local volunteers to feed the hungry and treat the sick. The people of Derex Prime watched in shock. They had been told humans were primitive and dangerous. They expected violence. Instead, they received kindness. A young alien girl approached Lisa while she supervised the distribution. The girl was thin and scared, clutching a piece of bread like it was made of gold. "Why are you helping us?" the girl asked. "You are humans. We are supposed to be enemies." Lisa knelt down to meet her eyes. "We are not enemies. We were never enemies. Some bad people told lies to make us fight. But lies do not have to win. We can choose to be kind instead." The girl stared at her for a long moment. Then she smiled, small and uncertain but real. She ran back to her family, showing them the bread. Lisa watched her go and felt something warm in her chest. This was why they fought. Not for revenge. For this, news of the humanitarian mission spread across the galaxy. Images of humans feeding alien children appeared on every network. The same species that had just destroyed a fleet was now saving lives. It confused people. It made them think. Maybe the Council had been wrong about humanity all along. Back on the capital station, War Chief Torvax met with Admiral Lawson via holographic conference. The War Chief had been released from custody after he refused to support Veteran S attempts to rally loyalist forces. "You fight with honor," Torvax said. "I did not expect that from humans." "We did not expect to be marked for slavery," Jack replied. "Life is full of surprises." Torvax almost smiled. "What happens now? The old council is broken. Who will lead? That is for everyone to decide. Together, Earth has one demand: real equality for all species. No more lies. No more secret plans. A galaxy where trust means something." Torvax considered this. Many will resist. The old ways are comfortable for those in power. Then they will have to get uncomfortable. Jack leaned forward. "Earth is not going away, War Chief. We have proven we can fight. Now we want to prove we can build. Help us, and we can create something better than what came before." The War Chief studied the human admiral. He saw strength there. Not just military strength, but something deeper. A belief in something worth fighting for. "I will consider your words," Torvax said finally. "Perhaps the galaxy needs to change. Perhaps humans are the ones to show us how." The communication ended. Jack Lawson sat back in his chair and looked out at the stars. The hardest part was still ahead. Winning battles was simple compared to building peace. But for the first time in 50 years, humanity had a real chance.